Larry here. Check out this website, David Wynn Miller.
Okay.
It's actually I beg your pardon, it's dwmlc.com. It's all about language and communication claims of these unity states of the world. I heard Brandon Adams talking about it, quantum language. Now,
it is All Day Live. Thank you for watching us Friday nights, probably here in Seattle locally, maybe on Channel 77, or maybe even on scantv.org if you're going to watch us on streaming media. I am Wilkie Wilson, WilkieWilson@yahoo.com. We're tremendously honored today to have Don Gron-Teching. Thank you, Don. And then Keith Younghammer, associate host. And if you don't see us on All Day Live, you might see us on Call for Investigation, or you might even see Don and Keith, and maybe me once in a while on Truth versus News on Thursdays at 5, Call for Investigations Tuesdays at 5, and it repeats those nights at 10 o'clock. And we're greatly honored to have David Wynn Miller, that's Judge David Wynn Miller, as well as Patricia Shupe. You might normally see her in Call for Call for Investigation, but she's here today on All Day Live. And Pat's good to hear from you as well. Pat, how you doing down there in Arkansas? The tornadoes caught you yet?
No, they certainly tried. All 362 of them or something like that.
Well, don't say
We're really busy in this area.
So keep them there.
Thank you for having me.
Keep them all there, okay? Is that all right? We don't want
I'd rather they just disperse and go away.
Well, yeah, but don't mail them back. I don't know where they came from.
Oh, yes.
But according to what the wind patterns usually come past here on the way there. I don't know if we sent them over there, but don't blame us. Anyway, David Wynn Miller as well from Hawaii. David, how's things going?
Well, Colin is getting only 6 inches of rain a year, and I think it's all coming in one day right now.
Really? That's great.
First time in a year. They said it's been months since it's rained here, and it's pouring like crazy. Wind shifted out of the east, so it's pouring here.
Wow. Well, it's pouring sunlight, I can guess. Right?
No, that's off.
If you go down the south end of the island, it's all sunny and warm, 88 degrees here.
I wanted to ask you really quick, this is just from the perspective, I don't get a chance to talk to anybody that's come and gone from Hawaii lately. What about the nuclear fallout from Japan? What's going on? Are they talking about it over there?
All that 1,000 miles north. Hawaii's not getting any of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, interesting.
Everything is going up to the Aleutians. They're pulling 3,000 rads right now.
No kidding. No kidding. Well, Pat, one good thing, with those tornadoes down in Arkansas, I guaranteed it's all going up in the air instead of coming down. Right, Pat?
Yeah, it's pretty good measurements in this local area.
Right.
So it's not something to, basically be worried about, other than what they're trying to do to the caldera again.
Oh, yeah. You mean the Mount Sheridan over in Yellowstone National Park? Or, let's say, the New Madrid Fault Line, which apparently these characters, as Dr. William Mount had brought up on a conversation we had with him just a couple days ago, apparently that big drill that occurred over in the East Coast in New York, Washington, D.C., where they had these checkpoints all over all the main eastern seaboard. These checkpoints involved many divisions of both military and police. Apparently, they were looking for nuclear bombs being smuggled in here. Apparently, Dr. Mount said they came in from China. Of course, there's a lot of things going on. We're getting ready to be signed over to China. I don't know if most of you people are aware of that. But we were told from the sources we've heard from January 22nd, is that right?
January 28th.
They're
No,
going
22nd.
to sign
2012.
because of the debt that these characters created, these crime syndicates that run our country. They've stolen basically all that debt is what they've stolen from the American people because we're dumbed down sheep, letting them steal everything in sight. And then the Reagan-Miller protocols, Leo Wana, where apparently the Bush crime syndicate, the Clinton crime syndicates, and all these crime syndicates have stolen over $500 trillion. As we were following and interviewing Christopher Story for the last few years, till they murdered him last year, you go to worldreports.org where he was reporting weekly. And then you got Tom Hennigan, who was also reporting this. The debacle going on between both of them was Hennigan was making the point that the so-called royal, or let's say the queen, as they call her, I don't think she is a queen, not my queen, was involved with this theft of $500 trillion. Leo Wanta and the Reagan-Miller protocols, $500 trillion stolen from the American people, apparently. And you see these characters that have gotten away with everything, including a president that puts fake, and it's been proven, it's verified, it was photoshopped, and then real quick, we can go into that if you want. The circumstances, Dave, you're in Hawaii right now. That's the birth certificate state.
Birth certificate capital of the world.
Yes. Much talk about it? Go.
Capital of the world?
Birth certificate capital of the world. That's Hawaii.
Eligibility.
Here doesn't have that many people, you know, it's only 6 million people, or 4 million people on the whole island complex.
9 islands, right. But apparently these crime syndicates that control, apparently Obama represents the Saudi royal family. I guess Trump represents the other side, which is the
George
Soros and Black Pope and those guys. So you got a tug of war for power there underneath the Rothschild reign of control over the world. But what is the circumstances, David and Pat? As you know, you've been a victim of this, and we were going to cover some things I think the people watching want to hear about, David, is the mortgage scam. And I hope that we can get a clearer perspective on that. And then, Pat, maybe you can listen a little bit. David, what is it that we're supposed to be the caretakers of our properties under these mortgage contracts? Is that what?
Your mortgage, if you all 60 million mortgages in the United States, the bank never signed the mortgage deed, the deed of trust. So when you go to the closing, they had you sign all these documents.
Don, did you hit record?
No. So it's one-sided, just like everyone signs their tax returns and pays them the money to the IRS, but the IRS doesn't sell making the contract complete to receive the money. They just say, give me the money. Just like the bank says, give me the money. You sign the promise to pay the bank, but the bank doesn't have chain of title or lodial title to the property. So therefore, when you and the mortgage contract, all 60 million mortgage contracts in the United States are written in adverb, verb, adverb, adjective, pronoun, and pronoun, adverb, verb. So what's happened here is you've got yourself a document that was written by attorneys that was completely violated parsing, syntax, grammar, where about 10% of all words in the contract they start with a vowel and 2 consonants, and those words mean no contract because they're written with a prefix. Anything you have a prefix means no. And then if you take the rest of the words, about 1/3 of all the words in the 14-page document is an adverb, which is a modification. And it's what the thing is going to modify is both an adjective and pronoun or just a verb. It's going to take a noun and turn it into a verb. So what they've done is they've misrepresented every single word on a document because they lack a title, lack lodial title, lack chain of title to the property. So if they give you a contract that you believe says something, and it is your volition to give them money, even though they don't have a contract, because the mortgage was voluntary, who's at fault? The guy that wrote the contract? Well, you go to your schools and you ask the English teachers, will you teach parsing, syntax, grammar, and the teacher will immediately expel you from school because you have knowledge of what parsing, syntax, grammar is. So the English teachers are not teaching grammar. The college and university teachers do not teach grammar. And so because all the people, all 330 million Americans are illiterate, and it doesn't matter what country or culture you're from, still don't understand parsing, syntax, grammar, communications.
What's
it
wrong?
leaves you with an inability to be correct on a contract that you would write.
What happened?
And then you're washed by all the newspapers and magazines who publish writing or whatever contracts you may be in possession of, an adverb, verb. The end result is no one has ever said anything about anything to anybody, so how can anybody be liable for anyone performing or not performing a duty? And so that becomes a real problem.
Okay.
So now the bank makes you believe that you own the property, and by paying off the mortgage, you have clear title to it. The point is that nobody ever pays off their mortgage or stays in their home until the mortgage expires. And even if you do, you still have to pay property tax. And if you fall 2 years behind in property tax, the government comes off and sells it at auction and gives it to the next person, who will then become the new property owner and write the mortgage.
Well, the one question I have on that.
Keith, get your mic on.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're right. The one question I was.
Right that are actually entering into the contract.
Well, the one question I have on you said the bank doesn't sign anything. And since there's basically 5 elements to a contract, one of those being signatures on both parties, then it just creates it into a memo and not a contract. And I'm sure.
It's just a bank entry that says you're going to go out and protect this property, and the bank says that, well, if we got somebody watching it that's going to be guaranteed to pay the insurance, guaranteed to pay the taxes, guaranteed to cut the lawn and paint and make sure the water and sewer and everything is connected, that they can go ahead and fraction bank the value of the property and then take the money and give it to MasterCard as a debt instrument, and then to use that debt instrument to, in 9 months, they have the property virtually paid for.
And then after that, they just continue to collect interest.
Well, they get interest on the interest, and they get the person continues to pay from the homeowner's position. In the event the appraised value of the property goes down, like this recession, below the outstanding mortgage, the bank automatically owns the property and can turn around and sell it to another unsuspecting buyer or sell it to another unsuspecting bank without title or chain of title to the property, which is illegal in both cases. And so what you've got is the blind leading the blind. And then when Wall Street got on board on CNBC, they said that, well, somebody has to pay the mortgage. And the other guy goes, yeah, pay it to who? The banks don't hold title to the property. So if the bank doesn't hold title to the property, who actually owns the property and who's making the mortgage payment? The guy says, well, if people don't pay their mortgages, the banking system would collapse. Well, banks only carry 8% of their total asset in the form of mortgages. So as far as the banks go, they're depending on a lawyer to write a correct policy, but in fact they haven't written a correct policy. They've exposed the banks to bank fraud under Title 18, Section 1341. They're using Title 15, Section 1692E, fraud and misleading statements, which carries a $25 million penalty under Title 15, Section 78FF. That's how Bernie Madoff went to prison for 125 years and paid for stealing $69 billion from the Wall Street. Then you've got Title 18, 1001, fictitious conveyance of language for the extortion of money, carrying a 5-year, $10,000 fine. Then you've got perjury. Title 18, Section 1621, a person committing perjury. Perjury has 47 different chapters by which these laws can be applied for fraud and misleading statements to misrepresent themselves, say one thing and do something else.
Is that according to federal code, David? Is that federal code? Where would we find, if we're going to write a lawsuit, where would we get the perjury codes?
Perjury code is under Title 18, 1621.
Okay.
Now, if you go into the United States codes annotated, you'll find that there's 47 chapters on perjury.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can, under perjury alone, you can bring hundreds of different charges.
Okay, interesting. So we're trying to get more information to the people that are concerned. Probably quite a number of them are that are watching. Just go through the United States Code and give them a real quick index. Where would they go? Just give them, again, one more index of what they need to do, where they can go find it, if they're going to write their own documents. Go ahead.
Well, the person who's going to write it, first they have to use a Title 42, 1986. That means they have knowledge of what the law says and the right to stop and correct it. They would also have to have knowledge of what parsing syntax grammar is by getting on my website, dwmlc.com, so that they could study to use the correct parsing syntax grammar. If they didn't use correct grammar and only wrote an adverb verb, they would still be saying nothing to a court system called the United States District Court. Well, United means no citizen. district, DIS means demon god of the underworld for trickery. And then if you say district court, a court is a closed area. So you've got a closed area that deals in negative law. Well, you can't ever perform a negative condition of state, so everything is false. Is a fraud is false. People sue that they want justice, because they feel that their mortgage contracts were wrong and that they were ripped off. Well, the word justice, J-U, means outlaw or no law. S is speak, T-I is title, and C-E is judge. Judge title speaks no law. And therefore, all the laws, rules, regulations, and codes are written in adverb verb. Even the laws, when you read them, it says no law, no person shall. You feel like no is an adverb, making person to be a verb. Shall is an adverb, making to be an adverb in future time. Now modifying the next word to be an adjective or a verb. And it's still, you're lacking prepositional phrases to certify the value, and you're doing nothing but modifying the condition of communication. As long as you're modifying something, you're changing it from its origin, which goes back to perjury and fraud and misleading statement.
Right.
Then once you've established the fact that you have knowledge, then you go to what's called the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 26E, which means closure. You have to give closure for your knowledge. And what are you closing? Title 18, Section 1001, fictitious conveyance of language. That cross-references with fraud and misleading statements under Title 15, Section 1692E, and perjury under Title 18, 1961, which then takes you to a condition of porting. You have to port your information into the court, which means you don't report it. See, the reason you use the word report, it means no port. It's because you wrote an adverb verb. But if you write a quantum syntax language document, then you're going to wind up porting the document into the correct language so that you're actually saying something and you have forensic evidence of the mortgage contract, which you syntax to use as proof. Now you can go to all the people involved, the bank, the credit union, the title company, the attorneys involved, and now you have two or more people coming together under conspiracy. Now, criminal conspiracy is Title 18, Section 241. If you go to civil conspiracy under Title 42, 1985, subsection 1, that's a civil conspiracy. That leads to a Title 42, 1985, subsection 2, for an obstructing of the evidence and witnesses through modification of language, which then gives you a Title 42, 1985, subsection 3, deprivation of your rights through the modification of evidence and witnesses. Therefore, it leads to racketeering under Title 18, Section 1961. And when you're involved in racketeering, you're reducing the individual beyond the point of recovery that causes him a damage. The damage cross-references with the Title 18, Section 242, deprivations of rights under coloring of the law. If you're going to color the law, you're going to go ahead and you're going to turn it into something that it's not, and therefore the document becomes a complete fiction. And it's real easy to color law,
David,
because when you color something,
Quick.
well, it colors an infinity. So that's where you get the terminology subjective interpretation. Well, sub means no, object means to make contract. So you have a no contract interpretation. In means no, T-E-R is terra, earth. Free means no, and nation is people, and A-all, contract. I-O-N is contract. So you have a no person contract.
Patricia, go ahead. This is Patricia. Go ahead.
Now, where would you consider all of this comparing to the upholding of the United States Constitution? Where's the commonality here? Because when a law is vague, it is null and void. And we're dealing with a huge amount of vague, non-available information, and much of what you've covered on these individual 42 and Title 18 and so on, I put into my court case, that civil court case 9835303-Joiner, and has been completely avoided, prolonged, put off, or put into FISA court. What is your comment?
They buried her case, basically. It was a federal court case. Go ahead, David. David?
Okay, the Constitution of the United States expired on November 2nd, 1999, and we didn't elect a president back then. They had us count ballots for 90 days. Because we counted ballots for 90 days, that was no more than an illusion, just like an illusionist. Watch the right hand while the left hand picks your pocket. So 90 days later, on the 2nd of February 2000, the United States of America Corporation was formed, and the post office laid claim to all land and water above and below the ground in the United States. So therefore, the post office has been running the show here worldwide, here in the United States. The teachers are not allowed to teach prepositional phrases or correct sentence structure or correct grammar in school. Otherwise, individuals would have the knowledge to correct the title codes, correct the paperwork, and go out and prosecute the liars who have been lying to us since 1775. In other words, when we first formulated
To protect the Constitution for the United States.
Pat,
breaking the interface on language is bring forward the mathematical procedures to use the correct grammar. My correct grammar website is written in a 28 reading level. Lawyers, judges, and attorneys only write in a second and third grade reading level. So this is the dilemma. If people only read and write in a second grade, third grade reading level, how are they ever going to make any wants known or get any laws passed? So you've got to take yourself to a position of accuracy, or again, I'll rephrase that, correctness, if you're going to prevail in a court of law. And
okay, so now what you're saying is anyone who has taken an oath to protect and defend.
David, hold
because
on.
if we don't all lie together, LIE, we're all going to lay together, LAY, when the people find out that we've been lying to them for 200.
David, real quick, Pat, go ahead. 1 second, David. Pat, go ahead.
So you're saying that anyone since 1999 taking an oath to protect and defend the Constitution for the United States of America has simply been completing the fraud, and they're not liable to this because it was discontinued, you might say, in 1999, according to what you have gone through. What is your comment on that?
David?
I didn't quite catch all that. You think you can ad-lib that for me there, Bill?
Go ahead. Pat, it's about the fact that since 1999, Pat, go ahead and say it again.
That anyone who has taken an oath to protect and defend the Constitution for the United States of America have simply been part of the fraud, and therefore they're immune to it because it doesn't exist anymore. Is that your premise?
I think I understand what you're saying. Anything that happened, on November 2nd, 1999, the United States of America bankruptcy ended, and everything stopped. The IRS no longer existed, the government did, the laws, rules, regulations, codes, everything came to a stop because we didn't exist. Our license to be who we were for the third international bankruptcy of 70 years expired. The only thing that was now current was the fact that people believed who we were and what we were doing. In other words, there was a presumption as to our conduct. So once we became a corporate structure and not a bankruptcy structure, everything changed and went into the corporation environment. Now that a corporation has been formed, which is two or more people coming together under contract, now we're going to go ahead and formulate a society where contract is relevant, except that people can't read and write, so therefore their ability to write contracts is nonsense until they learn the correct sentence structure. My running for president is to bring parse, syntax, grammar, and the correct sentence structure to the table and wake this planet up. You got 7.2 billion people that can't read and write, and I don't care what language you speak. It's all the same. It's all written in adverb verbs. Some languages don't use prepositional phrases. Some languages don't use vowels. Some languages only have pronouns. The point is, the prepositional phrase is relevant to certify the 1 in 900 definitions of every single word in the dictionary. My technology brings that definition to an accuracy. If you were only to use 4 words, 4 nouns in a sentence with 1 verb, you would then have an accuracy level 64 billion to 1 of accuracy with only 13 words. If you had a sentence that had 30 words in it, that would be 10 to the 900th power. Pretty big number of accuracy. But my website is 190 pages long and maintains that level of accuracy. Because once in this technology, you can't lie anymore. Everything you do is mathematically certified to be frontwards and backwards. For the bridge is over the water. For the water is under the bridge. Over and under are opposite prepositions, and therefore both sentences, frontwards and backwards, say the same thing. This is the level of accuracy I'm bringing to the table.
Go ahead, Pat.
Well, now since you say that it's non-existent, but it did exist prior to 1999, then how would you respond to that no senator or representative shall, during the time of which he was elected, be appointed to any civil office? Now, being a corporate structure, that's an appointment to a civil office. Wouldn't you have to agree?
I'm sorry, I can't. The phone isn't allowing the pronunciation of the words to be clear. Bill,
Yeah,
can
go
you
ahead.
translate for me?
Keith, go ahead and explain that.
Well, Pat, let's see if you can say it again.
Yeah, Article 1, Section 5, no senator or representative, shall during the time for which he was elected be appointed to any civil office under the authority of the United States which shall have been created, or the emoluments and so on. It goes on, but wouldn't that include someone being appointed to a civil
what?
civil corporation? It no longer be United States, as you're trying to say. And then, what then is your response if they're elected and they're not to be appointed to any civil office? Thereby, they are null and void, and thus what they have done and or not done,
Okay.
is null and void.
Pat, go ahead.
That takes public office, swears to an adverb verb oath of office, which does not allow it to be correct. Now, when I started correcting the oath of offices for the judges, the attorneys, the politicians, and publishing those on the internet, and as well as filing lawsuits against those, the public officials realized that they had no rules or regulations of conduct. So did the police and the sheriff's department. So you've got all these different agencies of public employment that actually are not represented or are not being used with correct grammar. And so they when you go in to file a document, they say, well, the court's here for people to file their grievance. But when we go in to file a grievance, they say we don't have to file that. So I went ahead and I took the clerk of the court's rules and regulations of employment and I syntaxed them.